guys, it's your girl T. So I want to come on here and talk about the whole Monique situation. Yes, I'm making another video on Miss Monique. A lot of folks have been wanting to know my opinion on Monique's media blitz this week. She was on Sway in the Morning, then she was on The Breakfast Club yesterday. She also had a really in-depth interview with Roland Martin a few days ago as well. And Monique done brought out the emails. She done put Lee Daniels on blast and basically put it out there that you're not going to ruin my character and act like you didn't consider me for the role of Cookie Lyons. So a lot of people have been having a lot of different opinions about this, but one thing I've noticed is that a lot of folks have been really kind of negative about her revealing these emails. Folks are saying that she's salty, Monique is just beating a dead horse, she needs to get over it, she's just jealous.
Monique is back in the news. You know, she has a couple of projects that are coming up, but a lot of people are still talking about her semi-feud with Lee Daniels.
Yeah, she says that Lee told her that she had been blackballed for being difficult. Well, we talked to Lee and he seemed to back it up, but look at Mo now. Yes. I mean, so did Hollywood really turn its back on her?
I never bought into me being blackballed by Hollywood. That was something that Mr. Daniels said.
She asked me, why haven't I worked? And I said, you pissed a lot of people off. You were making demands.
Her feud with Daniels runs deep. Monique claims he cut her out of two of his biggest projects. She told us she even has emails proving she was originally offered the part of Cookie in Empire.
And God, do not withhold your blessings.
And she claims he offered her the role of Gloria in The Butler before he convinced Oprah.
I say, Lee, I just don't want to embarrass myself. And he would say to me, stop saying that. Stop saying that. Why do you think you're going to embarrass yourself? Because it's like picking up an instrument when you haven't touched it in 15 years. I love Mr. Daniels, and I wish that brother nothing but the absolute best. And we actually reached out to him through email, and we haven't gotten a response.
So why did Monique disappear? After winning the Oscar for Precious, she didn't work in Hollywood for nearly 4 years. Her reason? Not that she was blackballed, but that she was lowballed.
When you didn't see me, and then he said I was blackballed, people married those two things together and said, oh, that's why we haven't seen her. That's not why. It's simply because if we continue to take those low offers, that award means absolutely nothing.
So was the holdout worth it?
How could you be so selfish?
The answer may be yes. She is producing and starring in the new movie Blackbird, and she's coming to HBO.
Remember what I told you about the blues?
Monique co-stars with Queen Latifah and Bessie, the story of blues legend Bessie Smith, and it's her biggest payday yet.
What they did was played fair. When I say I make more money from HBO than I've ever made in my career, that's what it is. Because they were fair in the negotiations.
You know, and that's the thing that kind of bothers me. It's like folks are looking at the superficial part of it. Folks are looking at her bringing out the emails. They're not listening to the words that she is saying in the interview. Monique was dropping so many jewels. It was insane. I had such a good time listening to these interviews over the past few days. I'm like, preach, Monique, preach. You know what I'm saying? When she says that nobody will value us until we learn to value ourselves, that is the truth. And then she was on The Breakfast Club and she said something on there that made me really think. So many times people ask her about the Oscars. You know, how did you feel when you won the Oscar award? You know, are you really grateful that you won an Oscar? And like she said, you know, I understand how people put so much stock into the Oscars because we've been conditioned to look at that as the highest award. But she says every award that she's been given has been a high award to her. You know, how come black people, especially when she goes on these black radio shows and black TV shows, why are they not asking her how she feels about winning an NAACP Image Award? Because those are the awards that we own. Those are the awards that we give out to our own when they've accomplished greatness. So Monique was dropping just so many jewels. I don't think this woman is salty. I don't think that she's bitter. If that's what you took away after watching her interviews, that she's salty and bitter and angry, then to me you're just delusional. And as you guys know, when everything first came out, I really didn't know where I stood. I didn't understand that she was coming out wanting attention. So when she first came out with these allegations, I really didn't understand where they were coming from. Because when she went on mainstream media, they only gave her like 5 minutes to talk. So she really couldn't articulate herself the way she needed to. It wasn't until she she went on to V103, Ryan in the Morning Show down in Atlanta. It wasn't until then that we got a clear picture of what Monique was trying to say, because every time she tried to go in depth, CNN was like, oh, we got to cut to a commercial break, or that's all the time that we have left, moving on, because we all know CNN is a big fan of Lee Daniels, because Don Lemon is like Lee Daniels' biggest champion. So it's like Monique could never get a fair shake when she went on CNN. But that's why I love the fact that we have places like the Breakfast Club, like we have Sway in the Morning, where entertainers can go on and really talk about their side of the story, really give them a platform to explain everything in depth. And I'm riding with Monique, you know what I'm saying? The industry is very shady, and I'm glad that she's just not, you know, taking any role. I'm glad that she knows her worth. You know, I don't understand why sometimes as black people, we're made to be ashamed if we know our worth. It's like if everybody else can get paid, I can get paid too. So I don't knock Monique. She should be about her money. She should be wanting what is fair. We all should be wanting what is fair. You know what I'm saying? We shouldn't just be complacent with saying, oh, well, at least I'm the only black girl at this show, or at least they're willing to book me. We should never get to a point where we're complacent and just being happy that we were chosen because we're black, or just be happy with being the token black person. We should always strive to want the best and to always want what's fair for us as individuals. So Monique's interviews were powerful. She dropped a lot of jewels. You guys really need to sit down, listen to her interviews in depth, and stop, you know, get out this whole she's salty, she's bitter, because that's not what it is. You know, folks are saying, well, she wasn't really considered for the role, it was just a screen test. You know, regardless of the situation, they made it seem like these conversations never took place, and Monique had the emails to prove that not only did they take place, that Lee Daniels was lying about the whole situation, you know what I'm saying, and Danny Strong had no business speaking on something that he knew nothing of. You know, so I feel like a lot of folks need to stop with the whole Monique needs to shut up and move on situation. You know, Monique has every right not only to defend her character, because they did try to assassinate her character, but she also has the right to speak up on this situation. A lot of black actresses in Hollywood are scared to speak up about this. They feel like they should just be grateful that Hollywood is even giving them a role, that Hollywood is even giving them a chance. And Monique is saying, you know what, I want an Oscar, and I just want what's fair. I want to be paid accordingly. Jennifer Lawrence won an Oscar recently, and Jennifer Lawrence is getting $1 million offers. Monique wins an Oscar, and she's literally offered nickels and dimes. Really take a serious look at that. You know what I'm saying? How can this black woman who won an Oscar not be offered, you know, these roles and paid accordingly like other people who have won Oscars? And Halle Berry was saying the same thing about when she won the Oscar. She thought all these roles would come and would be these big budget $1 million roles, and she wasn't really getting that. You know, she wasn't getting what her worth was after she won an Oscar as well. But a lot of the white actresses, they get their money's worth once they win their Oscar, and that's all Monique is saying when she's just saying, be fair, pay me what I'm worth. There's nothing wrong with knowing your self-worth. There's nothing wrong with saying the word no. There's nothing wrong with not bringing yourself down to somebody else's level just to appease them. So many of us, unfortunately, were just raised not knowing our self-worth, but we're worthy, you know what I'm saying, and you're worthy of getting paid. And anybody who tries to shit you or not pay you for your work and your time, then those are people that you don't need to be around. Those are people that you don't need to associate with. You know, so I really respect Monique for everything that she said in all of these interviews. I respect her for going on this media blitz. Monique is dropping jewels. If you're thinking that Monique is just out here trying to attention whore and, you know, she's just being bitter and she needs to move on, I suggest you go back and you watch these 3 interviews again and take those jewels that Monique is dropping. Take the whole Lee Daniels situation out of it. Take the emails out of it. Listen to the jewels that this woman is dropping. She's spitting nothing but the truth. So anyways, you guys, I don't want to make this video too long, but I am proud of Monique, and I'm just grateful that she's speaking out on this situation that's so prevalent out here in Hollywood that many people are afraid to talk about, because there's not equal pay. There's not equal jobs. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times when there's roles for black women, they're mainly stereotypical roles. Prostitute, stripper, twerker. There's not a lot of roles where we're the leading lady, or where we're the leading ladies, or we're the love interest. You know, so Monique is saying nothing but the truth. Anyways, y'all, go ahead and leave a comment. Let me know your thoughts on this whole entire situation concerning Miss Monique. You know what I'm saying? Do you feel like once again she's beating a dead horse? She needs to have several seats? Or do you agree with what Monique is saying, and you feel like, and do you feel like Monique had every right to defend her character and, you know, basically drop the jewels that she's dropping about Hollywood? So let's go ahead and get the discussion popping. Leave a comment, let me know your thoughts. All right, deuces. Hey YouTube, it's your girl Lovelyti, and you can show me some love by hitting that subscribe button, watching my previous videos, and following me on social media.